Now, if you look at the key B flat and B0, those are those yellow ones over there, you'll notice that as we switch them, the keys on the keyboard actually shift layers. And each one of the footstep instruments has two completely distinct bank layers with different footstep samples. We realized that when you're doing footsteps, especially if they're on camera, you need a lot more control over the sound and the tempo of the footsteps than just random footstep sounds like we normally get. So the bulk of what we do, though, is footsteps are not seen on camera. It's just, the feet are down underneath the camera, and we don't really care or know the heel and the toe and the tempo and all of that. So we can kind of put in a generic one, and that's okay. The footsteps are organized around a soft, medium, loud, and a run tempo for the most part, and each one of them has a different tempo. Soft being slower, like this. And that's built in. That's a tempo that is just kind of how it is. There's no tempo mapping because you don't tempo in a mix. And you have up to 3 octaves of these guys. You can see there's a lot of them, so you're never going to have this sound. That machine gun. You got a ton of options. And you can do multiple people at the same time, which is, make a crowd really, really fast. At the top of bank layer 1, you have all of the stops and slides, because every footstep walk ends with a slide. And maybe even starts with one. And if you're like, well, that's lovely, we love this sound, but what if we need it a little bit faster? Well, I've already loaded, as you can see, in bank C#0, bank 2 of layer A, the loud version. Now this is boots, so they're louder, you're going to hear a lot more of the boot sound, but they're faster as well. Walking faster. Right? Super cool. And there's a medium and there's a run, you got all that stuff, which is great. But what if you're like, well, I got footsteps right big and loud close up on camera, and none of these tempo match the heel and toe. Well, that's what the second bank layer is for. That's this layer here. In this layer, you have 1 full octave of heels, 1 full octave of toes, the same stops and slides that you had before. And then in the event that you do need those pickups separately from the toes, you have another octave of those toes and pickups. Now the toes themselves have the pickups built in. So if you hold down the key long enough, you're going to get that pickup. And depending on the shoe or the instrument or the surface, those pickups may be stronger or less. Most of the time, you're going to be able to just use that and it'll be okay. But if you don't want that pickup, then what you do is you would turn down the release. In this case, for me, I'm going to choose this bottom one here, and then I'm going to say apply to all. And now I have a very short toe. If I hold it down, I can use it. If I pick it up, I don't. So when I bring them together, I have maximum control with all the slides and stops still there. And if I want to do those pickups, I can't, it's going to be hard for me to do it, excuse the picture, but I can do the heel and toe with my left hand, and then the pickups with the right. Stop. And again, if I want to use the pickups that are there, I just hold down the toes. But you can see it has its own tempo built in. So if you don't want that tempo and you needed to do something like I was demonstrating where they're walking slow and then they start picking up, I mean, what sound library allows you to do that? None. And notice none of those had any kind of machine gun, like weird, this kind of thing. Or even this, which we're so used to hearing. They're just the same thing overnight. It's very unique, and every time you perform it, it is unique. So when you're in a situation where you got to go from a wide shot where you don't see the shoes to a close-up where you do, you can obviously switch between bank layers at the same time. So you're here, one bank layer, switch to the other bank layer for the close-up. The other one. Sorry, it's hard to do and not look. Close up. And stop. So very useful, so fast. It's so fun too. Even if you don't have a picture, you're like, wow, this is so cool.
Even if you